just apply. Now this is the y direction, so I'll just apply it, then I'll go for x direction, apply it, and then I'll go for z direction, apply it. So you see, using set, start and extend, I routed this pipe. So using these two options, you can route any pipe, but you have several other options to make our work easy.